Nearly half of Americans report sometimes or always feeling alone. Loneliness kills. This silent killer is worse than smoking and obesity combined. Every year, millions fall victim to the devastating effects of loneliness. Loneliness isn't just a tough emotional state. It's a physiological condition that impacts your mental and physical well-being in profound ways. From increased inflammation to compromised immunity, the consequences are dire. But it doesn't have to be this way. This video will uncover the shocking truths about the loneliness epidemic, but also provide you with actionable strategies to break free from its grasp. Whether you're a young adult struggling to make friends, or an elderly person disconnected from family, I've got solutions for you. You'll learn scientifically proven methods to build lasting relationships, find your tribe, and nurture the social bonds humans are biologically wired for. Say goodbye to the crippling effects of loneliness and hello to a vibrant, connected life. If you're ready to slay this killer once and for all, keep watching. Your path to overcoming loneliness starts now. We are facing a modern crisis, the loneliness epidemic. While technology connects us virtually more than ever before, we are becoming increasingly isolated in the real world. The rise in single-person households disrupting community ties is one major factor. According to the U.S. Census Bureau, 28% of households consisted of just one person in 2019, up from 23% in 1980. With fewer families, friends, and neighbors around us, our community bonds fray. The digital age has also eroded our community involvement and real human connections. A 2019 Pew Research study found that a mere 27% of people regularly attended club meetings or belonged to sports teams, music, or arts groups. We're substituting meaningful face-to-face interactions for endless online scrolling. And ironically, the very social media platforms intended to bring us together are making millions feel more alone. The American Psychological Association warns that extended social media use can increase feelings of isolation, anxiety, and depression. We're merely spectators to real connections happening around us. The cold, hard facts show that loneliness has become a public health crisis. But as we'll explore shortly, there are proven strategies to break this vicious cycle and experience the powerful antidote of true belonging. Loneliness isn't just an emotional issue, it's a physical health crisis. The impacts of chronic loneliness on our mind and body are staggering. Studies from Harvard Health Publishing found that loneliness acts as a major stress on the body. This sustained stress exposure increases inflammation, raising the risk of heart disease by 29% and strokes by 32%. Essentially, loneliness causes our bodies to remain in a persistent fight-or-flight state, eating away at our cardiovascular health. For older adults, loneliness is particularly detrimental. A 2020 study published in JAMA Network Open revealed that seniors with higher loneliness scores experienced more rapid cognitive decline, the equivalent of 20 years of aging compared to their more socially connected counterparts. Left unaddressed, loneliness accelerates brain aging and heightens dementia risks. But the health impacts don't stop there. The CDC warns that loneliness disrupts healthy sleep patterns, weakens immune function, and increases vulnerability to anxiety, depression, and substance abuse. It's a downward spiral. Loneliness breeds poorer health, leading to more social withdrawal and isolation. What's particularly insidious about chronic loneliness is that it can become a self-perpetuating cycle, severely compromising physical, cognitive, and mental health over time. Clearly, this isn't something any of us can afford to ignore. The time to address the loneliness epidemic is now before it's too late. Before we move on, a personal tip for you. You know what can help cure loneliness while watching motivational videos like this one? Engaging with the community in the comments. So if this content is making you feel a little less alone in this world, spread some of that love back. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring the notification bell. That way, you'll stay looped in on the next doses of human connection in video form. Who knows? You might even make some new virtual friends in the comments section. After all, we're all in this together on the journey to overcome that nasty loneliness monster. So enough stalling, let's get to it. The impacts of loneliness are scary, but the good news is that there are proven ways to combat it. Overcoming loneliness starts with a conscious effort to invest time in cultivating meaningful connections. According to Verywell Mind, The casual social ties we make through social media, work colleagues, or mutual friends aren't enough. We need to be intentional about forming close, supportive bonds with those who truly understand us. This allows us to experience true belonging. For many, cognitive behavioral therapy techniques can help reframe negative thought patterns that fuel loneliness. The American Psychological Association recommends shifting self-critical inner voices to build self-compassion and recognizing irrational beliefs that hold us back from putting ourselves out there. Because at the end of the day, the antidote to loneliness is taking action to get out there and get involved. Mental Health America encourages joining groups with similar interests or beliefs, attending community events, or even just striking up conversations with neighbors. Anything that allows you to make real human connections. Most importantly, you need to realize your fundamental self-worth. As therapists often express, you belong, you matter, you're part of something bigger. Overcoming loneliness means believing you have value to add to others' lives. With that self-belief, the world opens up with opportunities to bond. Loneliness is severely impacting our physical and mental health as a society, but we have the power to improve our social well-being and sense of connection. It starts with each of us prioritizing our social health. Take a moment right now to think about your closest relationships. When was the last time you reached out to an old friend or relative you've lost touch with? Something as simple as a phone call to catch up could rekindle a bond that fills that loneliness void. Or look locally in your community. Clubs, meetup groups, or even just striking up conversations during your daily routines can lead to new, meaningful connections. The first step is deciding you deserve to experience true belonging. At the end of the day, humans are wired to be social creatures. We need each other not just to survive, but to truly thrive. So let's combat the loneliness epidemic together. Reach out, get involved, and flourish in the warmth of human connection. You've got this. Get ready for a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Through intensive research, I've compiled the most powerful secrets from dozens of scientific sources into the ultimate guide. A step-by-step roadmap to transform your reality in just 7 days. This privileged knowledge can kickstart a transcendent journey toward the fullest, most actualized version of yourself. But the content is so comprehensive and valuable that it can't fit in this video. It needs to be its own dedicated video. Click the button appearing now for exclusive access to this extraordinary treasure trove. Your new extraordinary reality is closer than you can imagine.